great day. If you plan on starting your holiday shopping soon, our next guest says, shop with caution. It's the time of year when criminals become the Grinch who could steal your Christmas. Here with safety tips and to show us a few defensive moves, please welcome Eric Williams with Elite MMA. Hi.
Hi, thank you very much.
First, tell me what Elite MMA is.
Elite MMA, we're a large school. We have a couple of schools in Houston, and we service 3 different clientele. We service children, women, and adult men. And we have programs for self-defense for the children. A lot of times women will do one-on-one self-defense training. Sometimes men are traveling overseas and they want to do some self-defense training before they go. And sometimes kids before they go to college will come in and train with
and
us.
for the younger kids, what's really neat about this is just that it helps kids in their schoolwork with concentration, with respect. There are a lot of other lessons taught to them.
Oh yeah, I mean all the life skills, all the character building skills come through the martial arts. It's a great venue through teaching.
All right, well this time of year, as we mentioned, is a time of year a lot of people take advantage of those of us who are shopping. They want to steal our things. And so the first thing you say you need to do is before you even leave the house, do some planning. Yeah,
you know, there are a few tips I want to share today. And the first one is just planning. You know, share with your family where you're going to go, when you're going to be there. The same thing if you have teenagers, sharing with them, have them, you know, be in the know where they're going to be. Kind of plan where you're going to go. You know, of course, criminals are attracted to money. An oil company would be looking for oil where there's oil. Criminals will be looking for money where there's money.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't, you know, I can't think of a good reason to ever be at an outdoor ATM. It's just, there's no reason.
That's a good point, because they certainly know that people are going to be there and they can be right behind you, because you never know who's standing there to take your money. All right, the first thing to do is you say be in the know, and you're right, outdoor ATMs, try to have your cash already, even if you go in the bank to do that, or an indoor ATM where people are around, because you've known people to follow people home even after shopping.
Yeah, the other thing is, you know, be aware of your surroundings. I always say that I have a funny little joke. You don't have to be the fastest gazelle. You just don't want to be the gazelle on your cell phone texting.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, because it means you're not paying attention.
That's
Absolutely.
Right.
I actually saw in a parking lot one day, a woman was walking across the parking lot, car drove up, one man jumped out, grabbed her purse, jumped back in, and before anybody could call police or do anything, they were gone.
Yes.
And she was looking for her car, is what she was doing. She was wandering looking for her car. All right, criminals are not attracted to well-lit areas or large crowds.
That's correct. I mean, criminals, they're thinking ahead, right? And they want to have, they don't want to be identified. And so parking, walking, make sure you're in a well-lit area. It's better to go shopping with friends. It'll be more fun anyway.
Yeah.
And just have a crowd around so that someone can ID them if anything did happen. They really don't like that.
Yeah, of course, there are times when people are confronted and we get very territorial. It's kind of like, do you know how much this purse costs? No, you cannot have my purse, right? You're saying, don't get into it with them if you are confronted.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we forget, but, you know, your health, your safety, your children are depending on you to come home. You want to take care of yourself, and your possessions can probably be replaced.
Yeah. Another thing that a lot of us forget about is that at most stores and shopping centers, there's someone you can call on to walk you to your car.
That's correct. I mean, a lot of times we don't want to ask for help, but one of the things that I always say for self-defense is your sixth sense. When the hair stands up on the back of your neck, even with my haircut, it still stands up on the back of my neck. But when it stands, you know, something's going on that's telling you things are not right. And so don't hesitate to ask the attendant to call the mall security to walk you to your car. You know, just take the precautions, take your time, you know, be safe. These are happy times. It's a time to share God's love, and we want to spend it happy.
Yeah, and there are a lot of malls that would have the shuttle services that they'll take you straight to your car. But you're right, travel in packs. I don't know anyone who want to take on a pack of angry women who are shopping. Right? You know, it's like, okay, you have some demonstrations you're going to show us. Now, a lot of these things people will do if they've done it repetitively, like gone to your classes and been able to practice these things so it becomes second nature. But just some tips that we might need to know. The first one is like someone who's shopping who has a bag in their hand.
Well, yeah, one of the things is that Claudia's been training with us for about 8 months in our group classes, and if someone tries to get you into a secluded area, you know, don't make a bad situation worse. Right. In other words, if they're going to do something in the public, they'll probably do something worse in private.
Right.
So for this example, she's walking, happened to have a knife, and I approach her, get in my car. Oh.
She had a little tool there called mace.
So what that is pepper spray. It's one of my favorite self-defense tools. There are differences in pepper spray. The kind you buy at the local store is about 1 million thermal units. The kind HPD carries is 2 million thermal units. At Elite MMA, we have, this is 5 million thermal units. It's very hot pepper spray.
And I'll just disengage that person right away. If you are somebody's trying to force you into a car.
Yeah, so that's when they're forcing you into the car. The other scenario is someone just walking up behind you, grabbing you. And so Claudia's been practicing for about 8 months. She's very good. She's become much more self-confident. If she's walking, and I come up behind her and grab her, and I pull her up, she's just going to step and throw.
Wow. Wow. Now, she threw you down, then sprayed you with the pepper spray. I would have thrown in a kick, too. But anyway, that's just me. I'm going to show, there's something I learned that I never did forget and actually used one time, and it was I'm going to have you follow me, like walk behind me.
Okay.
And it was a simple move, but I never thought about that. So you're walking behind me, and then all of a sudden you turn around. And what happens when you just turn around is what happens. We throw that person off, right?
Yes. Yeah, you're throwing off their plan, and when their plan gets thrown off, a lot of times that's just enough time for the things to go better.
Yeah, all right, let's have another demonstration you're going to show us here.
Okay, the last one, this was actually a case study. I have a lot of police officers and law enforcement that train at our school, and this actually happened at one of the local large malls. One of my officers came in. The young lady was putting the bags in her back seat of her car. So she had set them down. A gentleman comes up behind her and shoves her into the back seat of the car. And this technique everyone can do, and the reason you can is because you learn it as a child. I call it the child throwing a tantrum. Yeah. And she just started kicking. If she has pepper spray, she can do that. She's kicking, kicking, kicking. And then she grabs the door handle because it drove her head into the far door, and she just pulled it open and rolled out the far side and was able to get away.
Wow. Wow. And again, when you're aware of these moves and you practice them enough that they can become second nature. And so the first rule of thumb is to try and not put yourself in that situation, you know. But secondly is to be aware of your surroundings. And third, know how to react and react in a way that they're not expecting. Because most of us are so shocked and surprised, we become an easy prey, basically, for that person.
Yeah, just a little planning. This is a great tool. You know, it should be in your hand. The only problem with weapons, if they're not in your hand, they're probably not available to you because, you know, you're busy, you're walking. I have a friend that's a great marksman, but she just never got to her weapon. This is in your hand with your keys on it. You just carry it where you go, and it gives you a little extra security, and you can feel a lot more comfortable.
Finger ready to go. All right. Yes. For more information about Elite MMA, you can log on to our site, greatdayhouston.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Coming up, we'll hear from some of our younger citizens and how they're getting into the giving season.